Hello everyone, I'm here with a new process video, and as you can see, I just have this one photo sitting here. This is a 5x7 from Philly. We were at the observation tower at City Hall, and so this was part of what we could see as we looked out over the city. And this will actually be a full 6x12 page. So I don't have anything picked out. I don't have background paper. I don't have embellishments. I basically have nothing other than the photo. So this is what I'm starting with today, and we'll just see how things turn out as we go. So while this is technically a single pager, it does not need to match what's on the other side because they don't necessarily go together. I have pulled that layout just because I might want to match if I can on this side. So I already have light blue going, that's fine. I have some tan in there, that's fine. The sort of oddball color here is orange. Because it appears in these pictures, I might be able to use it here. Really, this is the only stuff where orange kind of appears. However, if I could work it in and make it subtle enough, it might be okay. I went into my 6x12 pieces of paper, and it turns out that a lot of the orange paper I have is quite bold. There's not a lot of subtlety happening there. These were probably the two most subtle that I could find. And I mean, this, still has a good pattern going. This is the much more subtle option. I like this for a little bit of the darker color, but I think that pattern is distracting. Now, if I matte this on vellum or on white, it probably would be a lot better, but just looking at it like this, it's pretty busy. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. This one, I certainly like it better, but it almost feels like it's too close to this kind of lighter tan and these brown tones. So I would definitely have to matte it, but then the question becomes what color? I don't know that I would want to mount that on white because that just seems almost too light with everything else. I could go blue if I wanted. I'm just not sure. And I'm not 100% sold on either of these. So I'm going to keep looking. I'm also considering some brown tones, I think. So hopefully I'll find some better options. I pulled out two more papers. One has brown, the other one actually is gray. And I so dig this paper. This is what's on the other side. And that totally doesn't go. That's not good. This, I really like the look of it. It's a pretty strong background paper, and I wish I could get away with that, but I think it's still too much. So I'm probably going to have to sort of cop out and take the most neutral choice, which is this gray. You know what? What's on the other side? Oh, I don't like that at all. Okay, so this side. So I think I'm going to go with this, and that at least does give me some options in that, given that the background is so neutral, I can embellish with some of the other colors that are from that other layout. So I'm not giving up on the idea of having the orange in there. I think it would really brighten this up, liven it up a lot. So I have pulled out my little, I don't know what you call this, just bag, bin, whatever, of scraps that are orange themed or that have orange in them somehow. And maybe I'll find something in there that'll be a nice offset. I can't do anything too wild like this. I would never do. That's too much. But if I could find something that has a milder print to it, that might be a good way to go. All right, I have pulled out various options here from my scraps that I could use. So I have this lighter one with kind of a slash or crosshatch pattern, which is fine. This one is way more subtle. It's just kind of a heathered background, but the problem is I don't have a lot of that to go around. This is it. Same issue here. I love this pattern. It's certainly the brightest of the oranges, which it works well with the facing page, but I don't know that it goes well necessarily with what's actually in the photo. There isn't a lot of orange there, so this may not be the best option. And then I have these, which are kind of in between. There's more of a pattern there, but the color is a little more muted, which is nice. And I could maybe work that in two spots, top and bottom somehow. So right now I'm kind of leaning towards this or this somehow. I do think I am going to matte this photo on white paper because there are white elements over here, the border of the sticker, this chipboard piece, this. So having that wouldn't be too crazy, it would sort of blend in with the other side. All right, so I have my white background paper here, and because this is a 5x7, it's pretty wide as it is, so I don't want to make the mat for the photo even wider. So I have to be careful with width here. So I think what I'm going to do is just go 5 1/8 by 7 1/8 so that it's a very, very thin mat. Okay, I've done the mat and that was perfect. I love the width of it. And when I put this up next to this page, I think I've decided to go with this orange. I really like the pattern. I like the tone of the color. It definitely is different from this. This is much brighter, but I think it'll still work. Okay, I've decided to run the longer piece right across the top. I cut off the excess there. And then down here, I'm just using this piece that didn't go quite to the edge, just kind of as a filler, and then I think it'll allow me to overlap some stuff when I'm doing the embellishing. So I think that'll be helpful. I think for the photo though, I'm just gonna go right in the middle. I want it overlapping that orange, but then I want it pretty much centered from side to side. Yep, I like that. Okay, so I could still do something up here. I could stamp, I could do some phrase labels. I have options. And then I have a bigger spot down here if I want to journal or put some kind of larger embellishments. Now that I have the base done here, I've pulled out some other things that I might be able to use. I like these because like this blue here kind of fits nicely between this blue and the gray. It's sort of a nice in-between color. And then I pulled out some other things, like these are just some tags that I have that may or may not work, I'm not sure. I have this little bag of stuff that I pulled that I thought was specific to pictures I knew I had of Philly, so there might be something in there. And then I have my pouch of my other things that I've gathered that might be good. So I'm just going to kind of peek through here, see if there's anything that would function well with the rest of the layout. So right off the bat, I have two things I think I might want to use, and they both came from this bag of stuff. I have this. I thought that might be cool to kind of overlap somewhere down here because then you can see the orange through it, but the white shows up well enough. And then I have this little chipboard piece, and I don't even remember where I got this. I think it was part of a set, but I don't remember what that set was. But it's just kind of, you know, a generic cityscape with, you know, the blocks delineated, but the colors work. It's got gray, it's got an orangey brown, it's got a light yellow. All of those things are in here, so I could, you know, throw it up here somewhere to overlap. I don't know, but I'm going to play around with these two things to start and just see what comes of them. And then I do think I'm going to try to work in this one because I did find the view very striking up there, so I think that would be appropriate. I did attach these two items. So on this one, I did it up at the top there, and I did it slightly off center so it wasn't perfectly straight up and down, which I like. And then down here, I added on this piece, and because it's acetate, I couldn't really use adhesive on it or you would see it through there. So I decided to just put in two mini staples right on the side. I wanted to go top and bottom. Bottom I could reach, the top I would not. The reach of my mini stapler only goes this far, so that wasn't going to work. So I settled for the side to side, which is fine. And now I have that incredible sticker that I wanted. I've had it stuck to the end of my desk here, ready to go. I think I'm going to put it just like right here. Should I overlap it or not? Oh, I do kind of like it overlapped. So maybe I'll just go like that. So the little notches in the sticker go right to the top of the orange paper. Yeah, all right. So that's on there. That's really the only blue I have, so I feel like I need to work that in somewhere else. I don't think there's anything else on here that will really work. The rest of the blues, like little stars, the small things, are navy. They're not the right blue. So I think I'll have to go into maybe my enamel dots, or I could splatter if I wanted to find something that would match, but I'll find something. I couldn't really find anything else that I like, so I did pull out some enamel dots. And I have these three choices here. This one is a much lighter blue, but close enough, I think. This one, I love these because they're sparkly, and this shade here would work pretty well. I'm just not sure, do I want that sparkle. I'm not sure. I'm undecided about it. And then I have these, and these are probably the closest to that. Again, not perfect, but close. And I think those would be fine. It's more muted, which works with this color palette. So I'm just not sure if I want that, or do I want a little sparkle? Well, I decided I wanted the sparkle. So I put on a little more than I thought, and I actually went with both colors of blue that were on here, the darker and the lighter. So you can see I have 3 up top, and then I have 2 on the bottom because I like to have an uneven number. So I have 5 total. I love the way they look, and I think this one is finished. So here's another one done for Philly. Thanks for watching.